Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome into NFT Live on the Web3 Network. We are getting the heck after it today, as Gifted would say. I'm sitting here with Ronan the Collector and Gifted himself. We just had a great GM Web3 morning show. That was fantastic. Great guests, huge announcements dropping live on show. So we're going to have ourselves a good time. I'm always being outdone on the hats, so we'll start with the man in the Bored Ape hat. What's up, Ronan? Oh, you muted. No! GIF, are you there?
Rugs, can you hear me?
I got you.
All right. I only got one AirPod working too, so we're struggling so far on NFT
Fellas.
Live. Yeah, Ronan, you gonna have to jump out and jump back in? I don't know.
I think
Either way.
it.
Oh, we got him. We got him. Yo,
it's
don't worry.
the same
don't worry.
thing, man. It's just like sometimes my my web browser just decides it wants to like reset stuff. And I think honestly, what it is when I turn my what is it? My VPN on and off. Like I turn my VPN, I log in, and then I do stuff, and then I turn it off.
We don't use VPNs here.
What
VPNs are you talking about, Ronan?
Nobody here
for
uses...
my privacy, man. You're allowed, I can have a VPN.
Oh, okay.
Man. Y'all don't even know what type of movies I like to watch.
Facts. Well, we're gonna be ranking some Christmas movies. Is the biggest segue of all time. We have a Rate My Bags Christmas edition that we will be getting to here in just a moment. Hopefully, you guys can tune in and give us your take on why Elf is not the best Christmas movie of all time, even though some people think it is.
We're bringing to you. Yo, great start to the day. I was not awake, but then that conversation just like put me into gear because we had WarpSounds, we had Jeff Nicholas, we had a surprise guest, the brand lead from Meebits, aka Yuga. one of the brand leads from Yuga Labs just hopped on GM Web3 today to make this amazing announcement about their collaboration that just dropped. So check that out. That's fucking cool. Love to have that first thing in the morning.
All right, let's read it. Yeah, let's read it. Today, in partnership with WarpSound AI, we're releasing the complete Meebits Turn On album, including 13 new never before heard songs on major music streaming platforms, and as a free claim digital collectibles for Meebits holder. Look at that utility.
You also get it as a WarpSounds holder. You also get access too, right? So they did this using WarpSounds technology. Basically, right? So WarpSound is an amazing music project. It's actually been like the top leading music NFT project of all time. Basically, it's been in the top 10, leading the charts on OpenSea for music NFTs all year, basically since it dropped in like January. So if you don't know what WarpSound is, it's amazing. But it is AI driven. They have their own music AI that they've been developing for like 4 or 5 years. And so they're starting to implement that in different ways and through these partnerships like this, which is just, it's really freaking cool. And then it gets into the whole conversation around interoperability that we can touch on, but the ability for these different brands, projects, teams to integrate and create and build together is part of the interoperability conversation and part of what is going to separate them from other projects and help them survive and keep driving value for their community long into the future. So it's cool. And again, I guess, we haven't said it here, but like one of the most important things about this, about why we want to support this type of shit and why we're talking about this specifically, this isn't like fucking Trump NFTs. This is shit that we support. This is awesome communities creating value. They're not, this isn't a handout. They're not saying, hey, come buy another NFT from us. Come keep giving us your ETH and maybe you can unlock something. They're just creating value. They're just creating cool shit, cool experiences for their communities. Yeah.
Marty McFly saying, has Chick-fil-A, life is good. It is good chilling with you guys here today. I appreciate you joining. Everybody in chat. Sarah's Script is saying GM. Prodigy is saying, what up, Ronan? I'm happy to be with you guys. I'm excited to kind of dive deep, not just on Christmas movies, but we have a couple different announcements. And I hate to be the Yuga Lab channel, but we had a Trial of Jimmy update there. We've got a couple other pieces that I want to hit on, which include the community topic, which I'll get to in just a second. Mocaverse and an interesting conversation I heard on the Daily Dose this morning, which I want to get your guys' take on. We're also going to touch on Nat Geo and whatever you guys want to cover. Do you guys have anything specific you want to hit on? with WarpSound
Chick-fil-A.
today or something? Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A specifically. I actually ended up going to Chick-fil-A last night. Marty, I want to know your order. I'm just kind of like a simple classic chicken sandwich kind of guy. Give me some barbecue sauce on a chicken sandwich. I'm good to go. Maybe I'll get the frozen lemonade if I'm feeling sexy. Right now, I can't do it. But Marty, I want to know your order. That's what I want to talk about.
Ronan's also in Atlanta, the birthplace of Chick-fil-A.
I was gonna say, and then I want to know if anybody's got more Chick-fil-A points than I've got, because our family eats Chick-fil-A way too damn much. I actually was supposed to pick up some Chick-fil-A for breakfast this morning, and we had, kids and animals and accidents, and it was fun trying to get the day going.
Animals.
But what else do we want to cover? Actually, I shot you a link, and I thought this would be kind of fun. And the intro for this is fun to like just kind of play if you wanted to like jump into it on Discord.
Yeah. Drop me in the private chat because I keep my Discord closed because it messes with
your stuff.
My shitty bandwidth here.
So I'll drop it to you. But basically, like yesterday, I was just like chilling, man. I've been trying to step back from Twitter a little bit. Like it's like there's so much like drama, and everybody's like, man, I needed a mental break from that. So I've been getting into like just looking into content, reading, listening to like more audiobooks, like and stuff like that. And I came across this last night on my feed, investigating Logan Paul's biggest scam.
Is this Coffeezilla?
This is Coffeezilla. If anybody hasn't seen Coffeezilla, okay, so he just released the second one last night, and I'm like, dude, I watched both of them, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is the type of stuff that I like to see, because he does like really deep dives. He's calling the Logan's manager on the phone and asking him questions about this project. But if you want some really good,
you want to watch like 30 seconds of it?
Yeah, hit play. Just like the first beginning is like it gets you hooked.
I am so excited about this project. It's so fun. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
A fun game that earns you money. How much did you guys make from CryptoZoo?
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
And I lost around $15,000.
I lost $25,000.
Guys, I have to make sure we like break this up so we don't get the copyright. But this is fuck yeah.
Yo,
this is...
all right, real quick. So real quick, like if y'all don't know who Coffeezilla is, follow this man, because he is doing, to Ronan's point, some of the best investigative journalism that actually matters to like us. It's not like CNN bullshit. It's like, he's an independent journalist YouTuber who is doing some of the best work out there. And I think he's going to be one of the most consequential voices of our generation. If he keeps going the way he's going, he was just interviewed by Lex Friedman. Like, this guy is starting to get attention for the work that he does. And I think because of the quality, the way that he does it, the way that he packages and makes it accessible, and the topics that he's hitting, I think he's going to be a seriously consequential voice.
A blockchain game that made millions but never worked. Some of you guys think you know the story, but it goes so much deeper.
Damn, the suspenders?
Okay. Billionaires, fake orphans. Did I mention fake orphans? And of course, at the center of it, we have Logan Paul himself, who has abandoned this thing, leaving thousands of...
All right, before I want to play go ahead.
It's just good, man. Like, jump into it. It's 24 minutes for the first one. The second one's not nearly as long. It's like 14, 15 minutes long. And it's just one of those things where you're like, we're all asking these types of questions anyways, but like when he packages it this way, it gets like people interested who are not in the space. Like, his videos are getting millions of views, and that's the type of stuff that we need, right? Like, hopefully somebody like starts putting damn Logan Paul's feet to the fire about this shit, right? Like, because like it's just like, and every time he's like, oh well, maybe it's not Logan's fault, and then he finds somebody else that's really interesting and that effed up, because there's lots of people that are just effing up left and right in this entire thing.
Yes.
But it's good. It's fun. It's a good story. And then you realize that, like, man, if you want to make it in this world, you just got to have the confidence, because some of these motherfuckers just fake it till they make it, and they fake it, and they're standing next to people that you're just like, damn, how does that even happen?
So on that note, that's the perfect segue into what I was going to say. All right. I've simped for Gary Vee on this network a million times. I've talked about why I think VCon is one of the greatest examples of what an NFT Web3 conference can be. There was one really cringy moment from the entire VCon one. There was one really cringy moment that stood out to me as like, oof, that's the one thing. Like, everything else I think has been cool, well curated. But Logan Paul getting time on the main stage at VCon, this is why I was like, oh, it hurts. It hurts to see, you know, these types of people like the Logan Pauls, the like celebrity influencers who are not good for the community, getting airtime, getting promoted, getting the lead spots at a VCon, a really cool community event, because it's been kind of obvious since the start. Logan Paul is not in it for anything other than himself and the money. He's not creating good projects, good quality. He's basically creating shitty fucking rugs and doing it over and over. Like, part of what CoffeeZilla points out is like there's like 3 or 4 different rugs already that he's been part of where he's taken down millions of dollars. So anyway, Gary V is great for a lot of reasons, but this is the place where it gets bad, is the corporate interest and where he lets that maybe lead the conversation too much. Because Logan Paul should not be promoted as a great example of Web3 leadership.
I'm pretty sure it's Jake Paul that bought the Oni Force, correct? That was like the Bumblebee Oni Force. So was that Logan Paul as well?
I thought it was Logan.
It
yeah,
could be.
one of them bought it
confused.
for a ton of like
I think it's all Logan.
It was all Logan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think like Jake's been really playing with it.
The one devil's advocate here that I'll play, and I completely agree with both of you. This guy's absolutely bad for the space. If those people made a ton of money off this, there wouldn't be any like hopping on a Zoom call to talk about how shitty the project was and all this stuff. Even if it was a scam, if you made a ton of money, you're not going to come onto this documentary and claim like all these things. You take the risk of making a outsized return in this space. We call it generational wealth, and sometimes that goes the other way. Now, we should purge all of the bad actors in the space, which I know that documentary was a part of. But sometimes, though, a portion of me is like, you know, how am I going to get my money back? Well, dude, you gambled. You're in the casino here.
It comes down to how it's done, right? Because the point is, it was a crappy product that was sold as this epic game that he'd been working on for 6 months to a year that was going to make you all this money. Like, that's the issue, is that sell it in as something that it's not.
He says, like, you know, the way he introduces it is that they put up $1 million of their own money to like get this going, that it was hand generated art, when really it was like they took like Google like Shutterstock images and they literally merged them together. It's like not handmade art at all. It's literally like a stock footage of like a panda, a stock footage of an elephant, and they're merged together to create a mer elephant. Like, it was fun.
So like
it's the crafty
Nifty Q. I get your point that it's like, oh, if they made it, might be a different story. But like, if you actually watch it, you see how flagrantly bad he was lying and misleading, and how crappy and awful this project was. That's where you start to be like, oh.
And I think the message isn't necessarily like, oh, these guys lost money, we should like figure out how to get the money back. It's not that. Like, these guys are all like, you know, we did our due diligence, right? We went out here, Logan Paul's talking about it. Like, they're telling us in like chat, they're going to, you know, Logan Paul's going to be behind it. He's going to keep backing it, but really he backed away from it. And like, they were they launched a product that literally never worked. Okay. Never worked. You got the eggs. Like, so the whole point was like, you were supposed to buy eggs, and you got these eggs using either their token or ETH. And then you buy the eggs and you take the eggs to the website and you hatch the eggs, getting one of these animals. Like, apparently hatching worked for all of like a couple of days or something, and it stopped working, and it hasn't worked since. So you have people who can't even like hatch their eggs. And it's this whole, I don't want to like take up all of it, because literally we'll take up the whole time. But like,
and the last part of that is
I think the point, I was gonna say, I think the point of it isn't to like get something done. I think it's to like show us and everyone who's partaking in the space and wants to partake in the space that like this is happening, and like you need to even take it a step further. Like, we need to start holding people accountable, and the problem is that he launches that project, and then he goes silent on it for 6 months, and then he says he's getting ready to launch another project. So now he's coming out wanting more freaking ETH, right? For his 99 one of ones or whatever he called them. And it's just like, so it's just more of like being aware, creating like this really, you know, entertaining like package for like, you know, you to consume and like really understand like some of the shitty things that people do, right? Like, and just to like educate.
And the other part of this is the influencer part, because so many of those people bought into it because they're like, oh, it's Logan Paul. He's got his face on it. If he's backing it up, I can trust him because he's got so many followers. And it's like, nah, bro. And to Ronan's point, this is why we need to hold people like this accountable, because otherwise they will keep spinning up a new project. It'll just be revolutions, a new wheel, a new shiny object, a new fucking rug coming out every 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, all of us up here have gotten rugged, quote unquote, at some point or other. So we know I guess the dangers of being in the space. And that's really what I want to impart to the people that are watching this. If you're not in the NFT space yet, or you're looking to get in the NFT space, it's not all, sunshine and roses. Crypto in general is not. You don't have any support. You can't run to really anybody. But at the same time, this is very ICO-esque, where they're able to kind of throw up a company, it doesn't do anything, and then move on to the next one. These need to be, held accountable. So I agree with you guys. All right, I'm gonna move on into the next piece. Gifted, did you have something there? You look like you were a little.
That's it.
Gifted's got hot takes. Here we go. Seriously, what's the best Christmas movie ever? This is NFT Live. We have Nox Darkness here in chat. He was the previous winner of our community topic giveaway. We're doing the same thing today. I'm going to drop it here in chat for you guys. $50 worth of ape coin here for another day. It's not in perpetuity. It's not every single day. But jump onto that tweet thread. Tell us a topic that you would love us to talk about while we're live here today, and we will get to it before we get to rate my Christmas movies. It's going to be amazing.
I heard Nifty Q just said it. He said every single day from now on, he's giving away $50 in ape coin.
It's true.
And all you have to do is submit a topic you think we should talk about. That's what I heard.
Nox Darkness is also in chat. And I want to throw this your way, guys, because Nox, you are going to get your $50 in ape coin. I haven't sent it over yet. There's usually going to be like a 24 to 48 hour window with myself for these giveaways. But as purveyors of giveaways, as people with giveaway experience, what's the maximum like hours or days that need to be given for a creator for a giveaway window? Is 72 hours too much? Are we pushing the window a week?
It depends on what you're giving away. If you're doing a really epic giveaway, you can do it 1 to 2 weeks even. If you're doing something like massive, you could do a fucking month-long giveaway. You know what I mean? But like if you're doing something not that great, trying to make it last more than a couple days or a week, you're probably not. Like there's diminishing returns, right?
The payment, I mean.
Oh shit!
Because Nox is still waiting.
Yeah. I probably owe Nox NFTs, and like usually I'm behind on those, but I always deliver. A Gifted always delivers on his giveaways, but sometimes it takes me a couple weeks.
Okay, Squashman's in chat saying Elf, A Christmas Story, Home Alone. Marty McFly saying the only movie to be added to that list should be Elf. That's a Marty McFly take if I've ever seen one, and I cannot wait to get to that segment. But first, we're gonna cover some quick news. We're gonna fly through it today, of course, as we always do. I do have a National Geographic update here. I wanna really get into this video, see if we can't play what they've got for us. Let's see if I get in. Yeah, Nat Geo, man. Here we go. What? See you on the other side. All right, so we're going to dive into that video real quick and the details around Nat Geo, but it looks like they're getting into the NFT game via a company called Snowcrash as well, which I have not heard of up to this point as a launch pad for different brands to get into the NFT space. What you got, Gif?
I want to hear Ronan's take first.
I have absolutely zero, it looks interesting. I think for me, still, I really appreciate whenever artists in the space are given opportunities like this, right? Like when what they do here and what they've done and the work they've put in this space translates to larger, bigger opportunities for them and for, you know, their families. So for me, like, it's a huge opportunity, it looks like, for them. And I think, like, congratulations to everybody who's involved. And you know, I'll check it out. I think that, you know, I always kind of just watch from afar when it comes to these types of like projects, because, like, you know, I don't really know too much about it. I don't know like what they're trying to do. There's obviously, they got some amazing photographers. It looks like it feels like probably like a photography obviously drop. For me, I love photography, right? So I will probably, actually, knowing that a little bit more, like, I'll probably watch a little closely and see if there's some way for me to get in. Is it collectibles? It said collectibles, right?
Yeah, 1888, and that, I guess, was the year Nat Geo was actually founded. We've actually interviewed some of these guys on the network over the years. I think Chris Graves was on that list. Justin Aversano is on that list as well. Some names that are familiar to us in the Web3 space. Gif, what do you think about this job? Yeah,
well, I mean, that's obviously one of the things that stands out, is that it's really cool, to Ronan's point, to see people from the community that, you know, getting platforms, getting opportunities. Is really seeing the damage that, oh God, get out of here, bro.
Yeah, let's go. We're out.
But no, like, they led with Justin Aversano, which I think is pretty cool, because I'm literally sitting here staring at my Justin Aversano 1-of-1 print on my wall right over here, and I keep seeing Justin doing amazing things, and you know, feels good to be like an early collector. I wish I still had that NFT. I flipped it a while ago, but yeah, other than that, Snowcrash stood out to me too, because haven't seen it. And if I'm sure y'all know what that's from, right? Snowcrash is one of the most famous cyberpunk books ever written. It's like sort of the origins of the cyberpunk genre. Snowcrash was one of those books. And I love that book.
Neil Stephenson.
Yeah, first mention of the metaverse. Hell yeah, I love that book. So, you know, I'm definitely curious to learn more about what they're doing. It looks like they're probably just a launch pad to your point, Q. But yeah, I don't know. Look, Nat Geo, if they can come in and create quality opportunities to platform artists in the space, I'm all for that shit. I like Nat Geo. I think they're, you know, a solid institution.
Yeah. I don't want to like dive deep again. This should be like quick news, but we have, you know, Ronan has experience working with these big brands trying to launch different types of NFTs, right? CNN was a big one. I don't know how much you can talk about it after the fact now, but what are some things that Nat Geo should be like with this release be focusing on to have success in the Web3 space?
I mean, to me, it's all about communication, right? So if this is, hey, these are, you know, commemorating a certain moment in time, and there's 1,888 of them, they're collectibles, that's what they're for, and you know, that's what they're going to be. Cool. If these are, you know, for access to some extra content, some perks, some things, cool. I think, like, when you start, the biggest thing is to make sure, like, you're communicating clearly. And then for me, you know, I would say for them, you know, in my opinion, like, you leverage your current business like structure, right? Like what you're currently doing. So for me, like, what do those 1,888 open up? It's probably like some cool like experiences on Nat Geo's website, like maybe some like early access to like different content. You know, what does it mean like to be a holder? They have to define that. But I think the biggest thing is like making it feel natural, right, for them and what they're doing, and not like this weird bolt-on extra thing where they're trying to come in and you know, if they're selling a product, they're selling a product. Like, you know, I don't want to knock that either. Like, I do think that like this feels like, hey, it could be a cool like collectible, and like they could deliver these, you know, cool NFTs that, you know, are obviously done by some amazing artists, and that be the entirety of this project, and it just kind of be them dipping their toes right into the space, and that would be fine. But the main point communicate up front what it is, so everybody knows what they're getting themselves into, especially like when you decide to put them, how much you're going to charge for them out there.
I love the terminology of bolt on, because it does feel like brands kind of enter the space and they're like, hey, we're just going to have this one offering and it's going to look completely different and not tie into anything that we're doing outside of this in our, kind of general marketing strategies or just product. That's what was so cool about the conversation this morning with WarpSound here with Meebits as well, is like, that's the music side, of course. This is photography, and those haven't hit success at scale. And that's why it feels kind of like, hey, when a big brand gets in here, how are they going to go about this? Because it's not mass adopted yet. So it oftentimes like comes off as, again, bolt on is the term. We haven't figured that out at scale yet. So it does feel kind of, when teams don't do it well, it feels bolt on, just to kind of go back to that terminology.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, I think it's because so many people rush to market, right, for a lot of what happened. And that's why you saw so much like pullback, right, in the second half of this year. Obviously, like the macro environment and like the financial system being the way it is, that caused some of that. But I do think part of it is also everyone kind of taking a step back, saying, okay, well, what is this really supposed to be, right? Like I talked a lot about the cool thing that I saw in the last 12 months was the conversation go from talking to the people who are responsible for revenue and driving, money and business and new business ventures, to talking to the people who are responsible for marketing and customer retention and acquisition and things like that. So I think what we're going to see now is a little bit of a lull, but I do think that 2023, you're going to see, I think music is going to be huge. And I think, games, if we can get like, a huge publisher like Epic or something, just to dip their toes in, that would be huge. But yeah, I think the main thing is that that's what brands are doing now. Like they're looking at Starbucks and they're saying, okay, well, that kind of makes sense, right? Like it's a reward program. People are going to be rewarded and they're going to have this, entire experience that is all about coffee. And being the third place, right? Or was that what they call it? The third place, the third home? What is it? I can't remember that term they're using now, but it's starting to pick up, right? Like where, people want to be that for you, that place where you go when you're not at home or not at work.
Lightning question here for both of you and for the chat. I would love to hear about this, but this idea of brands coming into space and doing it super poorly and it feeling super inorganic. I think I want to get like your number one, like worst drop and worst example here. I would say Pepsi. Like to me, Pepsi's NFTs, like that's a great example of it just being like feeling like shit. Like that felt like
the mic
shit.
Drop.
The mic drops. Like, how does that tie into Pepsi? I don't really know. And oh wait, like there's no real strategy around this. I think they have provided like some utility to like Budweiser did it better, I think, from that type of like food and beverage brand. But all right, give me your take. One brand that just felt fucking icky when they entered.
Yeah, I don't know if I have like an example of like what I think is the worst off the top of my head, but a couple that stand out to me is like not really great. The Batman cowls and some of those like sort of like DC VV things, like they didn't feel very well done, or the supply was all off. They just, I don't feel like they really hit the way that they could have if they'd done them maybe better. Another one that stood out to me, what was I going to say? Oh, do y'all remember the initial Gucci Bored Ape collaboration? Like it was actually cooler than most because it allowed you to create a new asset, but it was like a really, it was basically like a super expensive, way overpriced derivative of your ape. And talking about bolting on, they basically just like slapped some ugly Gucci hat or like collar onto your ape.
You could like dress your ape up in Gucci.
And I remember some of my friends, I won't name names. I had like a friend or two that were like super excited to get their Gucci ape, and they paid like, I don't remember if it was like 1.5 or like 3 ETH. They paid a lot to get this derivative of their ape, and it was ugly. It didn't even look cool. It didn't even feel like a massive step forward. You know what I mean? It felt like literally bolted on, slapped on ugly clothes. And so that was one to me where I was just like, damn, Gucci just, y'all just fucking shelled out tons of fucking ETH for a shitty derivative.
Ronan, quick take on this one because we do have to move on.
Probably like one of the more recent ones was Tiffany's, and I like straight up was like, this is
the
just
punks.
The punks, like, I get like what they were trying to do, but it's like, come on, man, the amount of money they were asking for, and it's
the punks always get away with this.
This is okay. So when we sit down and we talk to clients, and when I sit down and talk to clients, like the first thing like I say when they start like giving me their ideas is, but why do you need NFTs for that? Right? Like, why do you need an NFT for that? What Tiffany's did, they could have done by a fucking Twitter giveaway, right? Like tracking who retweeted it. They could have done it. 200 people get these special things. Like they could have, obviously whatever, they wanted to make their money. But I'm just like, it just felt like when it could have been something cooler, right? Like it just could have been cooler. A good example of a brand that has done it, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, but it's simple and it's a good first step. Cause, right? Like, did we talk about that? No. So Cause dropped their vinyl toy.
We did.
Yeah, we did
hit on
weeks
it
ago. Last week they dropped it, last Wednesday, and basically it was the first Cause vinyl figure that has an NFC chip in it. The NFC chip helps for authentication, right? Like you scan that bad boy, it's an authentic Cause because it's going to take you to the NFT, show you like that it's actual authentic, right? That makes sense, and it's a simple thing. It's just an NFC chip tied to a token on the blockchain. That makes sense. The shit that Tiffany's did just didn't.
I do feel like the punks get away with this shit because the punks are just like, yeah, we do whatever we want. We have high end, our collectors are like high end, and we don't have to like do the same route as a Bored Ape or make those kind of moves. So I agree with both of your statements, and we will move on to the next piece. But before we do, go to the tweet thread. I'll link it again. Give us a topic before we end this episode. We'll hit on the community topic. All right, I'm getting to some swag here. Wanted to give a quick, very, very quick shout out. Prodigy has the timer going, so we have to be on this news piece. I already got one. I already bought my Aavegotchi Christmas sweater that I can run out to and get on every Christmas occasion now. Hopefully I get it before this is going to be one of the last shows, so I don't think we're going to be able to wear it here live on stream, but in January you will see this bad boy on me.
Yeah,
shout out to Aavegotchi. I just wanted to give a quick, it's not really that huge of a story. They dropped some drip here, and I actually like it.
I like that. That's fire. I like it, dude. I love it. That's like perfect for like a ugly like Christmas sweater like thing, right? But it makes sense for somebody who's in NFTs. And then
it's quick news.
The socks, the socks are what's up. Hey, quick news. I freaking cashed in and got I did my claim for WAGMI United today.
Oh shit, I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
I don't know how long it lasts, but I thought about it last minute today. I was like, oh, I got to do that. Also, you get a PFP, which I haven't checked. I don't know if they reveal or not, but I know there's PFPs, right?
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth or anything. If what my buddy sent me about a week ago, Mike sent me what he thought was the PFP, and 3D art is hard to do.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Dude, that was, they're not like a big brand, but that was one of the ones that almost came to mind because the way that they priced it with the supply and at the time of the market, and then the fact that there wasn't good art, it was just like a single 3D asset. That is not a good execution, but that wasn't like a big brand, so I didn't really want to.
Facts. You were about to hate on Aavegotchi there, which would not be appreciated.
It's just quick. Not
everything needs to be.
They're creating value. I'm like, would I wear those socks? No, I wouldn't. Hot take. Okay. That's my personal preference in terms of style. I wouldn't wear those socks, and I probably wouldn't wear the sweater. But I'm happy for you, Q, and I can't wait to see you wearing that here on NFT Live.
All right.
Probably in the new year.
From a marketing perspective, the goal of brand awareness was achieved in terms of occupying brain space. Favorability among NFT core believers may have taken a minor hit. Don R is saying, I don't know which project you're mentioning when you're talking about that. Don R is also saying, Merry Christmas and our vibe, our tribe fam. Squashman says, nice. Think claims end on Monday. All right, so we got some time here. All right, next piece of quick news I want to get to very, very quickly again is going to be this Mocaverse piece. The only question I have for you guys, the topic that I wanted to really hit, we covered the details. Again, it's only going to be for Animoca like ecosystem participants. Essentially, it's not this like open drop that maybe when it first launched we were like, oh, Animoca is launching a PFP collection, everybody get in and this is going to be a huge drop and we're gonna all make a huge ton of money. It's within their ecosystem, so partners, investors, employees. I need to, again, I think they will flesh out what partner means here over the next couple coming weeks. But my question to you guys, and one that was brought up in the Daily Dose, was with Ryan Carson, was, is there a future, and is this the first time that we've seen it, and do you think it is a good model of launching NFTs for your employees? It even got to the conversation where like inside a company you could have your own PFPs, and you'd be able to like collect those, and that would be part of like joining. Some people even mentioned it could replace stock options, more liquid stock options. Like you could get stock options and in NFTs saying that you were the third employee at Amazon, and that could be something you could trade, and you could change metadata and all these things. So I know that's a super open-ended question. Want to get y'all's take on just because we didn't really approach it from that perspective when we first started talking about Mocaverse, of having like internal NFT sales. I don't know. Take it away. See what you guys got.
I think for me, like what's really interesting is the concept. I think, it's something that we played around with at Gig Labs, and we thought about, and we talked to a couple of different companies about, and to me, like there's something there, but I don't know how it plays out properly, right? Like I do think that dropping, NFTs to your employees is kind of cool. Like I think Microsoft did that, where they dropped everyone like some commemorative NFT, basically saying you were, a Microsoft employee the first time we ever did an NFT or something like that, basically, right? When you can do something like that capture like that moment, that obviously feels like it makes sense. That's kind of cool. I think like what's really interesting there is like the same question when it comes to loyalty programs, right? Like Starbucks is how and why do you monetize loyalty? And I think that's like a really interesting question. And that's one of those where I like to sit down with marketers and people who work in that, like, as like the profession, because I think that, there's an opportunity there. I just haven't quite figured it out myself. And I think that, there's a lot of that type of experience will continue to permeate and happen, but I don't know what the right way of going about it would be. And, sometimes I think like that's where I feel like we need to lean more into NFTs just being, a digital token on the blockchain and what that might mean versus like thinking about, versus thinking about the value of that thing.
Yeah. So at my last full-time corporate gig before I went, full-time Web3 degen boy, one of the leaders at one point put us through this big exercise. It was like one of these like team building, like let's all do this thing. It's going to be fun. And basically the idea was we're going to create everybody's own sports card. It'll help everybody get to know each other. So we all filled out a little form that they made that was like, what's your favorite cereal? What do you do? What are your favorite brands? It was like a couple simple questions plus your name and like a photo. And literally the idea was to create a sports card for each of the different employees. They could go into some place where everybody could access it, some database, so people could go through and understand who each person was. And it was a way to create culture, create community internally at the company and get to know each other better. I haven't thought too much about this since then, but to me, I look at what Nifty Kit's doing and Manifold and these platforms to basically create, the infrastructure for you to be creating and minting your own decentralized projects, maybe even things like Snowcrash, some of these platforms that basically just offer some kind of tool or platform or infrastructure for you to build on top of. Offering enterprise models for this, for different companies, I think is going to be huge, because what are companies at the end of the day? They are their own cultures. They are their own communities. And what they have to do besides build that culture, sustain that culture, maintain that culture, is they have to find scalable ways to incentivize their teams. And that's a very hard thing to do. Mm-hmm. It is tremendously hard to find ways, especially when you're talking about fucking millennials and Gen Z and people who like understand there's not a lot of fucking company loyalty. Why do I care about what you're doing? I want to, stay home and play video games and be a social media influencer. How do you incentivize these people to come and want to invest their time and energy into building your company, your brand, your culture? I think NFTs, finding cool ways to gamify and provide value and different incentives and rewards. Ronan's talking about the rewards program aspect of it. If you can do that using NFTs internally at a company, I think there could be a tremendous amount of value, because it's also an expression of the culture. It's not just the utility. Q, you're saying maybe we shouldn't focus as much on the art. It's like, actually, it's both. It gives you opportunities to express your creativity, your culture, your community in different ways, while it has all that attached utility and potential.
It's not an either or. It can be like an add-on or an type of way. All right, Ronan does have to get out of here very quickly here at the top of the hour. So Ronan, last take here on are you watching the Trial of Jimmy stuff? Are you bullish on the Yuga news that they signed Activision Blizzard? I know we haven't talked to you since then.
I'm really interested in that. Like, I think that was the most interesting stuff. The trial stuff, it's always cool when we can jump in and start like partaking in like a lore, experience. And it seems like this is going to be kind of that, like some short films that are going to be coming out. It's going to be an interactive mint, right? Like, obviously, if you look today, the BAKCs are popping, the kennels are popping, because it says that if you have an ape or mutant and a kennel, you're on a tier of your own when it comes to what you're going to be able to mint. And if you look, this is kind of straight up pulled from the cyber brokers. If anybody took place in cyber brokers, they pretty much use the same type of gamification of owning the main assets and which ones you owned, and then having these tiers of rewards that you can earn along the way. So it'll be interesting to watch and see how they gamify it and what we get ourselves into. I'm really interested there. And then second to that, or before I jump, Jingle All the Way is an A+ freaking
great
Christmas
take.
movie. And then Home Alone 2 is the best Home Alone, and that's definitely got to be up there too. So those are my two that I'm throwing on the board that I think people, especially Jingle All the Way, people forget like Schwarzenegger did that movie, and it's so good. It's
classic.
So good. It is so good.
Overall, feel good movie. Great mic drop there, Ronan.
Yeah, man. And then next week, or whenever the hell we get back together, we can chat about what's going on in life, because I'm getting ready to hop for a really fun meeting. And I think it would be fun to chat a little bit about what I'm doing now, post gig labs.
Of course. Yeah, I would love to hear it, man. Really, really happy for you with the client meetings and things like this. Like you're killing it. We know you're going to be a heavy hitter in the space going forward, man. I'm super excited to see where you go.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. It's scary as shit, but hey, we're already on the track and we're going. So happy holidays. Right. Yeah. Happy holidays to you guys. Happy holidays to everybody who's in chat. I love you guys so much. Sarah, Squashman, what up? Don, Marty McFly, Prodigy, appreciate you. Hash Rhymes, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate during these times and you spend with your family.
Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I think.
There you go. You got them all. That's our vibe, our tribe. I'll catch you guys later.
Later, dude. All right, Gifted, how do you feel being locked in the cage with me for Rate My Christmas movie? Do you feel okay about that?
I mean, luckily I've been hitting these weights, bro, so I'm ready for anything.
All right, man. You know a little jujitsu. You don't need to be
cage match. You trying to cage
pretty
match?
Full. You don't need to be like lifting weights. You just need the technique. Technique over power.
Hey, we can always solve it on the mat.
Marty McFly, you're gonna have to solve with as well, because he's saying Gift doesn't wear socks. They're hard to match to his spandex pants. Those are fighting words. Squashman saying, "Damn."
He's right. I'm not gonna stand up and show, but.
Damn, well, at least you're wearing some pants. Damn, Jingle All the Way is great. Don R saying, thank you for everything this year, Ronan. Sarah Script is saying, love you, Ronan. Merry Christmas. Squashman saying, phenomenal. Watched it twice last Christmas. Good shit, Ronan. Prodigy saying, peace, Ronan. Happy holidays. And Hash Rhymes is jumping in as well, saying, happy holidays. A lot of love for Ronan. I'm super I'm just shocked. I'm shocked.
Honestly, I'm feeling like maybe we're giving him too much airtime. Maybe we should throttle Ronan's airtime. He's getting a little bit too much love over here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's tell him that we're not going to do NFT live like the entire month of January, and then just try to get momentum.
And then we'll be back February, Ronan. Yeah, you can come on then.
And by that time, we'll have enough rep to be on the same level as him. All right, folks, this is what we're doing. We got to rate my Christmas here in just a second, but Ronan did touch on that Trial of Jimmy update.
Yeah.
Also, a community topic. I do want to continue to look at that thread and see if we've got a community topic that we can cover here today. But go ahead, man. Trial of Jimmy. We just got those details from Bored Ape Yacht Club. What's up?
Well, I mean, look, to me, as somebody who sold their mutant and kept the Kennel Club and the ape, and have been anxiously awaiting to see what they're going to be doing with Kennel Club, this was really vindicating. Like, I saw this and I was like, all right, I did something smart. We kept the ape, and obviously, like, the dog came into play a little bit with the ape staking. But it's not like a massive thing. It's a small thing. It's a small W. But this is where I'm like, okay, shit, I really did something right. We got the ape and the Kennel Club. We held on to it for a reason. So to see that is really cool. And the floor is pumping a little bit on the Kennel Club. It's back up to like 8.5 ETH. Bored Ape is pumping a little bit. It's getting back up closer to like 70 ETH floor. Not as much of a pump on the Bored Apes as on the Kennel Clubs right now, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see how this goes, and for there to be more potential rewards and incentives for people to keep holding and get involved, right? I mean, that's what so many people have been waiting for. It's like, they have this incredible roadmap that they laid out that they've been slowly working through, and so everybody's all excited about, like, when's the next thing? Ape staking just went live. Now this is about to start going. I mean, their execution really has been fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It really has been.
I just want to point out to Gift Dad's topic that he just brought up about the Kennel Club holders, maybe the first dub outside of the ape staking for the Kennel Club holders since literally buying one back when they first launched. Like, this is the first Kennel Club activation, correct?
Or getting the airdrop. I mean, look, to your point, a lot of people bought in. And for them, for the people that bought in at a maybe several ETH or 10 ETH, or I don't even know how high it went, then yeah, this is definitely the first big dub for them. ApeCoin staking, again, not a massive dub, but it's a small win because you get a little bit. We haven't checked the Dune analytics, but
for
I know the
ape staking.
Yeah, the APY was a little bit higher for the Kennel Club paired ones, but again, you can only stake like 850, so it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. This feels like a bigger deal to get into a different tier of airdrop or asset or incentive reward for being able to pair one. That feels pretty cool.
All right, so I'm on the Yuga Labs website, and look at what I see right on the front page. I wanted to get into this announcement, but we lost it. So we got that Meebits turn on album drop with WarpSound. That's sick that it's actually on the website here on Yuga Labs News. Let's see. It looks like they don't have that announcement here on the actual news site, but they did have this tweet. So let's jump into the tweet real quick, see what we're looking at. I was kind of surprised this turned into another mint. A lot of people were speculating that this Trial of Jimmy was actually going to be associated with potentially another stream of the other side. Like that's what people were expecting, was like, okay, we're in December. They said we were going to do another one in 2022, and that doesn't look like it's coming. They said that there's going to be a trailer here shortly today, so maybe that gives a little bit more detail, but let's jump in. What's up?
I think so. Okay, we're in the speculation territory right now, but that's what's fun about the lore building and like when they tease out and drop these different breadcrumbs. So fuck it, we're gonna go all in. I would be shocked based upon what they've said and their executional prowess, their experience of like, I would be shocked that they don't do something with Other Side, because like that is a interactive storytelling machine. That's what it is right now. Like what they did with the first trip was basically them onboarding, showing the capabilities, and then telling story, right? Getting you engaged with like fighting the coda and doing all these different things. To me, I would think that this would be like a demo for Other Side. Like Trial of Jimmy, I would think some of the parts of this story should play out in the Other Side or through the Other Side in interactive ways. That's my guess. Could be totally fucking wrong. Could be totally wrong.
Yeah. Well, everyone's speculating right now. To your point at the beginning of that conversation there, it's like this is what Yuga is doing. This is like along their narrative of trying to like hold out and then kind of release something really spectacular. But all right, so Bored Ape Yacht Club thread here. Tomorrow, the trial of Jimmy the Monkey starts with a short film kicking off a new chapter. Piece of the narrative will be released along the way. Pay attention to the signs. Details might be important down the line. Things come to a head in late Jan with a free playable interactive mint experience for BAYC and MAYC holders. I believe they meant to say BAKC as well, of course. They said who also hold BAYC and MAYC who also hold a kennel club dog will be in tiers of their own. There will also be an optional ape spend mechanic. So you got ape utility mixed in there. And then, of course, we have this release, which Ronan said looks a lot like Cyber Brokers. I want to go back to the initial point. It's interesting that they're going with another mint. Again, you don't know what that is, but the Yuga ecosystem has a ton of assets at this point. A ton. And so,
the other deeds especially is what really went fucking crazy.
Even without the other deeds. I mean, if you put Yuga's assets all in one bucket, which I know there's individual brands, like anytime you release another IP, I'm not saying that it dilutes the other IP, but there's only so much liquidity that can go around. Someone's throwing their ETH into a Meebit, but instead now that comes out with this new mint, I'm surprised they went with another mint altogether. I thought they were done with that for a while.
I'm not mad at it personally. I mean, obviously depending on it's going to be good quality. Like if it's coming out of that team, whatever it is, it's going to be good quality. So I'm not mad at that. Hopefully the supply isn't ridiculous. And to your point, it doesn't just dilute the quality of everything because of how it's done. But I'm not mad at getting another asset, especially if it's like a tier 4 high tier one. So yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm just excited that they're continuing to execute on a roadmap and do cool, interesting shit. ApeCoin, we've been speculating about when ApeCoin utility. There you go. Like here is a little bit. This isn't like a massive mover right now because like it's far out. It's just announcing a potential for some integration with this new part of the story. But you start to see how ApeCoin is integrated into like almost everything that they do. So there is some ApeCoin utility being announced. ApeCoin has been holding fast at 350 so far. So this didn't like get a massive pump, but I do think it's contributing to helping it stay above that 350 mark.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Squashman saying, but it being a free mint somewhat tempers expectations a bit. No, I agreed. It's not like a full on like other primary sale that's going to happen. I will say the mutants and the kennel clubs were the same way though. Like I'm sure these are more claimable based on what you own, but if it's free, it's essentially kind of an airdrop. You just have to take a couple actions to do so. So that is, again, going back to my original point, diluting a little bit of that ecosystem. But who knows what the fuck it is at this point? Who knows?
It might also be creating a lot more liquidity again because like these big Yuga Bored Ape drops have been massive events. Right now, what's happened? What's happened? Like we've been talking about this for months. We're down to less than 10,000 active wallets. We're down to like 1 or 2% of the total volume that we haven't seen since the other deeds dropped. What are the catalysts that are going to get a bunch of those wallets and people that have been taking all their money out or going and doing other things to come back and start playing again in the space? A new fucking Bored Ape mint, a new Bored Ape drop. That is a fucking catalyst, I think, for thousands of new people to perk up and be like, oh, this might be a good time for me to get back in the game.
Yeah. And to be fair, they need to, and they tried a little bit, it seems like, with the other side and the amount of supply that the other side has. They need to figure out a way to make their NFT assets in their ecosystem affordable to anybody. Because right now the ApeCoin is affordable, but it's not really in their ethos of like, here, own a really cool like cultural asset. It's like, okay, you have money essentially is what you have. You don't really have like a something that can be you or can like represent other things like Bored Ape can, Mutant Ape, Kennel Club, all these different things. they need something that's in that $50 to $100 range potentially if they want to go worldwide. It's the same kind of conversation we have with the IP and T-shirts at Walmart. Like, does that help people get in, or do you need?
I don't think that they're trying to be Walmart though. Like, I don't think that, as from a brand perspective, that's smart. Like, there's going to be people who take the IP, go do their own Walmart activations. I think their job is to preserve and elevate brand equity. That's why they're partnering with people like Tiffany's and Gucci and these high-end brands. Like, I don't think they're trying to be Walmart with this shit, frankly. But
yeah,
like my one other note and like my concern or hit on them is like, I hope they keep the supply like limited. It's not just like, to your point, crazy diluted, but they need to do better with the gas, right? Whatever they do, they better fucking find a better rollout than how they did the other deeds and have people paying fucking $5,000 on gas. That was bullshit. They burned. That's actually, I think that was the catalyst that started the bear market, was burning $200 million out of the fucking ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, it went to miners, whatever that means. If miners spend
so
money
that is
there.
taken. Well, most of those miners are running businesses. They're not putting They're not putting it back into NFTs. They're not putting the community.
That's a fair point. The Walmart point, just to wrap a bow on this Yuga conversation, I'm not necessarily, I don't want them to dilute the brand and the community that exists now by just being like, we're going to like just release it for everybody. That's not my point. My point is, if they can find some way to get people involved at the $50 to $100 range, where you hop into a Twitter Spaces room and there are even more Yuga assets in that room that are on people's PFPs and people want to get involved, that's fucking sick. Whether that asset is worth 50 ETH or a half an ETH, it's like you're still part of the ecosystem.
Yes and no. So remember, the origin of Bored Ape Yacht Club is it is a members only club.
Well, what is the one rule about
being right? But what is the one rule about being in a cool club is you don't want every single person to be able to come in and use your club.
So Yuga is different than BAYC though. In this instance, is what I'm talking about. Bored Ape Yacht Club will always be Bored Ape Yacht Club.
We're talking about Yuga. I thought you were talking about the Bored Ape ecosystem and Bored Apes offering something through this Bored Ape mint that is highly accessible. Again, this is the Bored Ape
in general.
Ecosystem. Okay. That's fine. And I do think, to your point, that there's always a place to offer something accessible, to be that sort of like mainstream thing. But to me, if I was the brand strategist for Bored Ape specifically, I would say, hey, you know what's great about our distributed IP, about the fact that we did this crazy thing? People are going to go out and create all their different other entry points, the Walmart, the Old Navy collabs. They're going to give easy ways for people to feel like they're in the club by owning a piece of something. Let the community do all that, spread the word. That's the point of the distributed IP. We are going to concentrate on the big partnerships and maintaining value in this brand and doing the high end shit. That's what I would be thinking.
You've seen some examples of those derivatives too. Not those like a Caked Apes is a derivative essentially of Bored Apes. There are closer derivatives to the Yacht Club that are founded by like
the most badass derivative ever fucking made.
It is, but it doesn't feel in a sense connected to that Yuga ecosystem where something created by Yuga would. So I definitely agree with you. Like, the brand gets out there through making these derivatives, but I just want to be on here. Here, Gif, we've talked about Yuga, and I'm sure we're getting eye rolls right now because we're spending all this time on it. I would love for there to be an ecosystem and there being various levels, of course. Like, people want to spend however much they want to spend to be a part of this ecosystem. It's like, okay, but I would love to hop on here and everybody have a Yuga Labs NFT, so that when we're talking about this news, it benefits everybody. Whether that's $150 to that turns into a $1,500 asset, or all these other examples. So
I think it's really interesting that you brought up the sort of like derivative relationship and like association, because I personally don't look at Caked Apes as like, this is my way to feel part of the Bored Apes ecosystem.
Exactly.
However, literally just yesterday, this is anecdotal, but I swear to God, like just yesterday on Twitter, I saw somebody tweeting out like, yo, I can't afford to get in on Bored Apes, so I'm in on Caked Apes. Let's go. So it's like, some people like do see the association and say, hey, this is a really badass derivative. I get to rock an ape PFP that's a fucking by an amazing artist like Cake Nygaard, and feel like, you know what, I'm part of this this ape movement, the Bored Ape ecosystem, in a very tangential sort of way, because that is actually part of it. Came out of Bored Apes. It's the distributed IP that enables an artist like Cake Nygaard to go out and create caked apes. It is derived directly from that. And so it's actually a really interesting point. And I'm sure some people do, again, the community can create more accessible ways to associate and get into the ecosystem and be in those satellites, those peripheries of it. I don't think they just want to open the members only club to everybody. That, to me, you're talking about diluting value. That dilutes value to me.
I view each tier separately in their own clubs. I really do. Like, especially the mutants and the Bored Ape Yacht clubs, those will always be exclusive, in my opinion. Like, creating something outside of that, along with the Yuga Labs ecosystem, that gets everybody involved and has a Yuga PFP when we're in a Twitter Spaces, feels like could be a good move for Bored Ape, because it gets them out there. But
it gets really complicated, though, the more that they do that, right? Because we're already having issues at these events of like, oh, well, I've got 50 Bored Apes. I should get VIP at this VIP thing. What do you do then when you open it up and you've literally got hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that have a $50 asset? What kind of utility do they get? Do they get access to Ape Fest?
Probably not.
Do they get their own day at Ape Fest? Okay.
Other days.
Like, what other utilities do they get? You know what I mean? So it's like, it gets really fucking complicated.
Yeah, the loyalty rewards and things that we talked about earlier, I feel like do have some type of parallels, right? Like the people that are the highest loyalty rewards members get the most benefits. So it's not outside of, the realm to have that be a tier system for apes. Anyways, Sarah Script saying, what's happening on Christmas with BAYC? This is the last stuff we got. Basically, it's going to be a free mint. It says free playable interactive mint experience, and this is based on these tiers here. So we really don't have any more information other than the fact that they're going to drop a trailer today. We're literally on it right now, so I don't think they've launched.
Can we look back at
yet.
that? Does that mean that there's a tier 5 or tier something else for people that still have all three?
So they put this in the actual photo, but they didn't put a tier 5.
So this is, I think, a mystery / interesting, right? Because there's a box next to it. It's on there, and there's an airdrop box next to it.
Tier 5 for full set are just unclear. The top row is not a tier. There's no tier 5. Yeah, could be I mean, again, this goes back to the same shit we've been talking about with Yuga, which is just like they're just going to do something with that and say, hey, surprise, y'all get something special. So, all right. Let's see. Squashman was getting involved on that. I appreciate the comments there. Donar saying roadmap for Yuga found here. Squashman saying that's why I like the BAYC IP diagram map that floats around, but think Yuga needs a hub for all the BAYC, MAYC related IP projects launched by the community members on their website. Squashman saying would help give exposure to those projects, show what's being built with IP, and allow easier entry price points for non-holders to still participate. This is what we thought. Like, this is a narrative we were kind of pushing with ApeCoin, but there's a cap on the interactiveness you can get with a community, an NFT community, when you just are holding fungible tokens. So, all right. We are doing Xmas movies right now. We literally that couldn't have happened more naturally, of course. But we do have. I was literally transitioning to it. Rate my Christmas movies.
DJ Savage like segues, of course.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. All right, we're listening to some chill hop. This is by Restream, but you know what? We're gonna change this up. Background music going straight to Christmas. Hopefully, this isn't just utter shit, but we'll see. There we go.
Yo, I feel the magic. I feel the spirit. It's in me. It's alive.
Here's what we're doing, folks. Rating Christmas movies. We got about 15 minutes, I'd say, to get through all of the Christmas movies in existence, which should be more than enough time. With our proficiency and our ability to get through this stuff, I think we will be completely fine. All right, this is what we're doing. First off, I need an algorithm pitch here. What's the algorithm based on, Gifted?
The algorithm is,
age.
as always, fully scientific. There's no other way to do this but data. And the data point for me is going to be based upon the fondness of my childhood memories.
Ooh, that's subjective.
No, that's
subjective.
That is science. It is science. And so I would like to submit my one S tier recommendation.
Already
starting out strong, and that is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie?
It's Christmas. It's The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a Halloween and Christmas movie. What do you mean?
Probably the most controversial way we could have started this was starting with A Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's Tim Burton literally hitting the two best holidays into one, and it's an absolutely iconic animated film. Are you kidding? Nightmare Before Christmas is S tier.
I'm not
saying in my humble algorithm, that is S tier quality.
We will, again, this is going to look way different than it starts. So guys, don't get up in a fuss, but S tier right now for A Nightmare Before Christmas. I always thought that was a Halloween movie. But we will go with it. All right, here we go. Down the list, we're starting with the movie that's on the thumbnail, Home Alone 1. Where do we think Home Alone 1 belongs on this list? I'm going to go with, I think it's one of the most iconic Christmas movies of all time. So we're going to be moving around, but I think Home Alone 1 is an S tier. Some people say Home Alone's not even a Christmas movie, but that's not even, I'm not going with that. I'm not subscribing to that.
It's either S or A. Yeah, I'm fine with it at S. I mean, that's a classic. Again, my childhood would not be the same without Home Alone, both 1 and 2, frankly. I know people think Home Alone 2 is the best. You can make that argument. Home Alone 2 is epic, but they're both equally important, I think, to my childhood and thus the algorithm.
So I'm being told I need to kind of adjust this. Let me make sure I get this right. Maybe I can share just the window, and that might be a little bit better. Is that better for you all at home? That's what I got, folks.
That's too small. Too small. Can't even see it.
Are the images too small? Like this is what we got.
That's fine. Yeah, let's just do it like that. That's fine.
All right. That's okay. That's cool. All right. Here's another movie that is also kind of debated as a Christmas movie. Die Hard, and I'm actually on the side of Die Hard not being a Christmas movie. That has never been a part of my Christmas movie watching experience. That, again, personal experience. This is subjective. As part of the algorithm, Die Hard, I have no want to put this up at the top of the list, but I can be swayed. What's the deal? I think it has to do with the images I'm getting from, because it's like super small.
Yeah, I think Die Hard belongs on this list just like pineapples belong on pizza, and that is absolutely it belongs on this list. Die Hard is an epic family movie that you want to watch during the Christmas holidays. It's Bruce Willis at his legendary best. Are you kidding? So much Christmas music. It absolutely needs to be here to make any Christmas movie list complete. Bottom line.
So you're saying A tier for Die Hard?
Oh, I'd say it's A or B. Yeah,
okay.
I don't think it's S tier, but it needs to be there.
Okay. So here's what we're doing, because we're getting really good at these Rate My Bag segments. So me and Gif will tell our opinion, and then if we disagree, here's what we have. We have a Die Hard at B for me. You're at A tier. We're throwing it up on the poll. It's happening right now. Gifted, while I'm getting the poll together, what's the next movie that I'm throwing up?
I got you. Strong A tier recommendation right here. This one, a little bit less about my fond memories during childhood, a little bit more about my fond memories during my young adult life. Bad Santa.
Okay. Also, yes, I feel like, again, it's not like
strong A tier recommendation.
It's not in the traditional happy-go-lucky Christmas movie, but I love a good Bad Santa. Billy
Are
Bob
you kidding?
Thornton.
It absolutely has like a positive moral ending at the end. Like it's more of a comedy, like a dark comedy, but it absolutely has the Christmas family morals at the end. They come together and create their own family. What do you mean? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful ending. It's unexpected. It's quirky.
Okay, poll is live for Die Hard. We're gonna go ahead and put Bad Santa today. Look, people are gonna be either really really happy or really pissed off that Bad Santa's today. I just feel like it's a controversial one to put up this high. But let's go ahead and do that.
Move it to S. You're right.
Oh no. I'm not taking it there. There's a pantheon at S, and Bad Santa is just not going to be able to make that. Okay, I'm on the top 50 best Christmas movies of all time on IMDb. That's why the images are coming out the way they are. Castaway is on here. There's no way Castaway is a Christmas movie, right?
There must be some Christmas element to it. To be honest, I've never watched it, and I don't really have any interest in watching it.
Here's another Tom Hanks movie that's on this list. Catch Me If You Can. Is Catch Me If You Can a Christmas movie?
I wouldn't normally think of it either, but I don't know if people are trying to make a Die Hard case for that one too. Like maybe I will say Catch Me If You Can is objectively an awesome movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really think of it as a Christmas movie too much.
Okay.
I like, to me, if I try and think about that movie, I think if there's any Christmas in it, it's like a small part.
Yeah.
It's not a focal point.
I'm not putting it up here.
We should be talking more about movies like The Muppet Christmas Carol, which is an absolute classic.
Wow.
A banger.
Okay. Prodigy is getting to a really good point. I will get to the Muppets. I've got a lot of different images to be putting up here. All right. This is super important because Prodigy is talking Jim Carrey Grinch. So the Grinch as an IP, should we be? I think are we putting every Grinch on here? Is it Dr. Seuss Grinch on here? Is it just the Grinch in general?
They're not all the same. They're not all the same.
Wow.
Jim Carrey was an amazing Grinch, so I could get behind that as a film. Like
I think that's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. The Jim Carrey Grinch.
He's fucking thumbs up, like the video if you like Jim Carrey, because you know what, if you think Jim Carrey is great, so do we, and you should go ahead and like the video just because Jim Carrey is the fucking goat. He's an amazing actor.
Sarah Script is saying this is FUD. Squashman saying Polar Express and Big should be the only Tom Hanks Christmas movies. Prodigy saying he got stranded. This is getting deep into whether I think what is the what's that movie with Tom Hanks? What is it again? Castaway is a Christmas movie. I don't know. Okay, Marty McFly saying Grinch with Jim Carrey is A. I'm gonna put Jim Carrey Grinch at S. What's your vote? It either goes to a poll or it's S.
I'd probably put it at A myself, but I think you could poll it if you want. I think it's great, and I think it belongs on the list somewhere close to the top.
All right, we're closing out our first poll here, and it looks like Die Hard's getting to a B. 57% voting that Die Hard is a B list Christmas movie. I'll open up the Grinch Christmas. All right, this one's pretty controversial here, as almost all of them are.
All right. Here's the most controversial thing I'm ever gonna say on this show.
Careful.
Elf is the most obnoxious movie ever made. It is. I get why it's funny to a lot of people because first of all, Will Ferrell is an absolute, we're talking about Jim Carrey. Next to him, as far as comedic actors go, is Will Ferrell. As far as greatest comedic actors of all time.
Wow.
So I'll say simultaneously, Will Ferrell is one of the greatest comedic actors of all time, and Elf is maybe my least favorite character that he's played. It is funny, but it is so grating. It's like, okay, the other movie that comes to mind when I think about Elf is what is it, Brothers?
Step Brothers.
What's Step Brothers? Like that, it's got funny moments, but I can't watch the whole movie without just being annoyed at the characters. It's so fucking childishly, weirdly adolescent. You've got a grown man acting like a fucking 5-year-old. And so it is objectively funny. It's just not my style. It's not the movie that I would normally spend a lot of time with. So that said, while I know a lot of people want this to be S tier, I would put it at like maybe a B.
Okay. I will go ahead and place that at B because I'm not gonna take as strong a take. I'm not necessarily like as triggered by Elf as you apparently were as a child and as a young adult. I don't even think it came out when we were children, but I'll go ahead and leave it at B. We'll see if we get any community input there. Also, The Grinch, Jim Carrey at S or A. The poll is open. Sarah Script saying y'all need to close out your MetaMask and go watch while you were sleeping. Marty McFly is about to absolutely flame Gifted here for his Elf take. I listen, Elf to me again. I didn't get into it. The one thing that's not been said here that I want this to be very, very clear as I make the list and as the algorithm kind of spits out the correct results. I'm a big like what is it? Stop animation episode, like claymation videos. Like I'm a big claymation Christmas movie guy. So a lot of these movies for me, again, like Die Hard, it wasn't it for me because I was super into like the claymation old school 1950s, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, all of these old ones. They just did it for me. So everybody has their own experience.
So Batman Returns, is that?
Yeah. See, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. All right, we are getting, we are getting While You Were Sleeping. I've never even watched that movie. Is that
That's a
bad to
classic.
say?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it all it does is let people know for sure if they had any doubts that you're uncultured. So
True.
However you want to take that. It's another great movie that is, I think, could qualify as a Christmas
Nightmare
movie,
Before
but
Christmas made it.
Of course it did.
Made it. Go ahead.
Bro, have you seen it? It's fucking amazing.
Yes, I think it's a Halloween movie, but go ahead. What were you saying?
It's literally
Santa
called
Claus.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's about Halloween. The whole movie is about how he's trying to like co-opt the Christmas narrative and bring it towards Halloween.
It's not called The Nightmare Before Halloween. It's called The Nightmare Before Christmas. How bad is my audio peaking as I'm getting just absolutely heated
It's bad.
over here?
It's bad. Just Friends on this list. Okay. All right.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a great movie that I would not normally think of, but I think could qualify as a Christmas movie. So I'd like to submit that for your consideration, Q. Batman Returns, already mentioned. Another good one. Oh, wait, we did say the Muppet
right.
Christmas Carol. I feel like the
I'll
Muppet
get
Christmas
that.
Carol should be on here.
All
Another
right.
one that is standing out to me as I do think a pretty solid.
Tim Burton said it was a
solid-
Christmas movie. All right. Case closed.
Dude.
What's the other one? No. What's the other one?
Movie.
Got
the
it.
name of the movie.
I got it.
Let me see if I can spell it out anymore. The name of the movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Christmas. And the whole
probably
story
wouldn't
takes place
be
in
that.
Halloween. Doesn't the whole story take place in October? Tell me it doesn't.
It doesn't. Not the whole story does not take place.
It takes place over months.
Okay,
so
there's absolutely Christmas in the movie.
Okay. All right. So now it's coming back to me. Halloween wraps up and he's trying to like plan for next year and he wants to bring Christmas to the folks in Halloween town.
Again, the name of the movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
All right, we're beating this.
We are again. True.
Look,
Please stop.
The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
That
was a solid one.
I really like the kid in this movie. I don't know what other movies he was in, but I really like this kid. I thought he was like a classic 90s kid in a lot of these movies. I would say A to S for a Santa Claus. Again, I reserve S tier for the pantheon of Christmas movies, which I do not believe A Nightmare Before Christmas is in, but we will belay that point. So I'll say Tim Allen's A Santa Claus at A for now.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I don't know that it quite gets me so excited that I feel like I want to make an argument to push it into S. But I think that there's some people that might think it's S. I think A tier is fair.
Okay. Ronan's in the house, and we're going to add his. I'm just going down the list, finding ones that we're talking about. So I want to get the Muppets added. Jingle All the Way could be an S tier for me. This is a solid Christmas movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger's best performance, even beyond being the California state governor. The Jingle All the Way.
Better than Terminator.
Better than Terminator.
Better than Terminator 2. I mean,
100%.
T2 cannot even stand up against the performance in Jingle All the Way.
Sinbad's in this. Sinbad is in this. This is like Sinbad with a president's kid. Like that's that timeline of movie.
Didn't Sinbad pass away recently? R.I.P. Did he pass away?
I can't confirm that. Maybe. Yeah, I think Sinbad did pass. Which is more of a reason to put it at S tier. For me, it's S.
Has anybody said a Charlie Brown Christmas? I think I saw that in the chat. Charlie Brown Christmas. That probably should be S tier, but like I'm good giving it an A or a B.
Charlie Brown.
Because again, yeah, I'm not going to spend a lot of time watching it where I'm at in my life, but maybe if and when I ever have kids, that'll definitely be a Christmas classic. You're moving Nightmare down. Wow.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas the #1 Christmas movie of all time, Gifted?
In my algorithm. Yeah.
All right, Jim Carrey's Grinch, 71% of y'all said A. So again, Jim Carrey's good. That's unfortunate, actually. That's probably my favorite Christmas movie. One of my favorites.
Dude, you're the one controlling the algorithm over here. You can override the outside.
It's egalitarian. It's decentralized.
That's sweet. All right. I didn't know that Rate My Bags had its own DAO, but now I know.
It's soon to be. Keep on the lookout on the roadmap. All right. I'm looking at the piece over here. Let me make sure I get this.
I mean, and as we've learned recently by
Little Women,
if you run a poll, you have to stick to the results. There's no other way to do things. That's integrity. So
this is going out to the masses. I'm and never changing. By the way, a Charlie Brown Christmas. What did you say? B.
I'd say B is fair. A or B for me.
Squashman saying it. Charlie Brown Christmas at S tier.
Some people are going to think that because it's like one of the most classic story, one of the most classic Christmas things of all time. So I can see that. For me personally, where I'm at in life, I'm not going there. But
you know what? And this is going to happen again. Gifted making the point that one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time didn't make it to S tier. So Squashman, one of yours is at A as well. I think A. Is where that's gonna be.
Squashman's about to fucking throw his laptop out of the window. Like, fuck this, y'all. I'm done. I'm done with you.
Miracle on 34th Street. Does that do it for you? Did you ever get?
Again,
I know that's like a whole other generation.
For my personal style, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with it, but it is a feel good classic that if you want something nice to get into the Christmas spirit and put on in the background while you're cooking up your Christmas ham. That's a classic.
I'm gonna put it at B. Maybe A tier for Provenance. 1946. We're coming up on almost 80 years here, so I could be comfortable at B. I just never got into it. B or A?
Yeah, B's fine with me. Yeah. People are gonna shit on us for this, but that's fine. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation has to make the list though. I mean, again, for me in my algorithm, that would be like S tier, but like I don't know that everybody's going to agree on that one.
S tier?
I'm running my own personal algorithm today.
I got you. Listen, probably the most controversial list on here, like the most heartfelt, like most subjective list that could ever be created is like people's Christmas movies that they watched when they were a kid. So there's going to be some tears.
Up everyone's childhoods.
Yeah,
we're trying to make people cry on this show today.
Okay, so let's see this. I've got a Christmas. This is National Lampoon's Christmas Story. Christmas Vacation, sorry.
Heck yeah.
All right, I'll lean on A and S here. So this one's going to go up to the poll. This one's going to the poll. What are we missing?
Yeah, what are we missing? I'm sure there's been a couple in the chat that we haven't hit.
The one Sarah was talking about, who I'm sure she left immediately when I said what movie that is. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Poll is up, folks.
We got Miracle on 34th, right?
Don R saying starting to worry about GIF and his confusion that Christmas is Halloween. Facts. Squashman just took away his like. It's brutal up here, man. All right, so that Christmas Vacation poll is up. Let's see.
The Polar Express.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
That one's a solid one that stands out to me.
A Muppet Christmas Carol. Okay. It pains me that none of the claymation movies made it on this list. Like that again. That was like
Nightmare Before Christmas did actually.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Relax. I didn't realize. Gift has like one of those.
I don't think
he has like all the figurines. He has all the figurines at his house.
Q spent so much time nitpicking and trying to trash Nightmare Before Christmas on this show, and I don't think he's even seen it.
I've seen a Nightmare Before Christmas. I watch it as a Halloween movie. I just like if we go back to Halloween, I guarantee it's on that list.
All right.
Nope, it's not. We did Halloween villains. It's a whole nother thing. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Marty McFly saying, you know what? You might not know cereal, but you don't. You might know cereal, but you don't know movies.
Mm-hmm. A lot of trolls in the chat today.
Yeah, that's it. People are. In the chat. It feels bad, man. All right, here we go. Closed poll. National Lampoon Christmas, all at A.
I'll live with that. I'll live with it.
All right. So listen, this is the part of the episode where, we had some things come together. We've been placing some movies here. Anything stand out to you on this list? Now that we have a specific kind of grouping, is there anything that stands out to you?
The fact that we don't have Rudolph on here at C tier. We have no C and D tier, and I think Rudolph could go at C tier for me.
Which Rudolph? And the claymation ones?
Yeah, it's like the OG Rudolph movie, right? Isn't there a movie, or is it like a short film?
It's a movie. It's a movie that is very closely associated with my feelings about Christmas.
So D tier.
Before we put it at D. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Fuck your feelings, Q. Sorry. All right, Batman Returns should be on here. That's standing out to me.
Is Christmas with the Cranks? I don't.
I think that's a pretty classic comedy.
That's our first C tier.
I think C tier. C tier's fine. Whoa, what happened? There's a glitch.
Christmas. Yeah. Christmas with the Cranks at C. First C tier.
Did we get Charlie Brown in here? Charlie Brown needs to go in here somewhere. Again, I think like
no, we got it.
Solid B. Okay.
A tier. A tier for the Charlie Brown.
A tier. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Provenance.
Yep.
Provenance is in the algorithm.
We're experienced here. You can see we've run multiples. Oh, okay. A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's classic.
Jim Carrey, Christmas Carol. I don't really like the format of this one, although I guess it's a little like not every one needs to be a cartoon or like live action. They went with like the 3D, like Mechanic here. It's like
Jim Carrey one.
Yeah, have you seen this one?
I think I have, and I think it's good. I think he's so fucking good in like everything he does. So yeah, that one's good. Isn't there like the OG Christmas Carol though?
Yeah, it's probably the one we should go with.
That's the real provenance. Like, so that one, I'd put it like C or something. Maybe B. It's good, but I think the OG one is probably again, provenance here does play a serious factor. Did we get Muppets on here?
I got Muppets here.
Are we voting?
I'm getting it. Muppets going up. S or A? S, A, or B? But I don't think. I think we're gonna get a solid answer.
Oh yeah,
there. All right.
Rudolph is claymation, right? It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, 1964. That should definitely go on here.
It is. Unfortunately, IMDb is a complete clusterfuck, but not adding claymation movies, guys. All right, here's what we got. Polar Express. Another 3D like animation type movie they went with. I don't know the exact terminology for those type of movies, but they went with like the
animated.
Yeah,
film?
It's like animated. Yeah, I would say animated. Yeah, it's probably the right way. So like A Christmas Carol and Polar Express are the only formats on here that went that route. All right, Polar Express, I'll go with B. It's not moving the needle for me.
I think B's strong. Polar Express. I like it.
Shaun the Sheep movie. Is that like a British thing?
I had no idea on that one.
Jack Frost?
I don't remember it that much. I don't really remember Jack Frost that much, so I don't know that it would make my like top list.
Yo, Friday After Next is on here? That's not a Christmas movie. Is Medea making? Is Just Friends making the list? You ever seen this, Ryan Reynolds? I don't think Just Friends is
I'm not a huge rom-com fanatic.
Christmas. Yeah.
That to me feels like it's from the era when Ryan Reynolds was trying to be the romantic leading man instead of the like sarcastic asshole leading man, and that was when his career went down the toilet. And then he redeemed himself with Deadpool when he remembered, like, oh yeah, the reason I'm good is because I'm fucking witty and sarcastic as shit.
Is Gremlins a Christmas movie? I agree with you on the Ryan Reynolds take, by the way. The Green Lantern was absolutely like one of the worst things to hit. Gremlins Christmas movie, folks?
I think so. I think that could be C tier or B tier. I love Gremlins, but like I don't usually really think of it as a Christmas movie, but I love the movie. So I could be comfortable with that B tier or C.
All right. What do we got? Squashman saying, and I quote, "Y'all can redeem yourself just by putting A Christmas Story in S tier. And even then, don't know if you're getting my like back. Leg lamp, fragile, literally runs 24 hours every Christmas Eve." There's a lot of Christmas spirit in this chat. I can feel it.
There's so much Christmas spirit. It's absolutely killing us.
Okay, I'm ending the Christmas Carol, Muppets Christmas Carol here. Oh, Christmas Carol, like that is the Muppets version, correct? Like that is literally their version of the Christmas Carol. Okay, yeah,
I think so. I mean, that's yeah. There's probably been like 10 different versions.
All right, here we go.
That's a classic one.
Fuck yeah, Gremlins is. Hell yeah, dude! I love the energy. Come on, y'all! You'll shoot your eye out, and the leg lamp, tongue on the frozen pole, squash is right. Yeah. Okay. So we have to rank A Christmas Story, correct? Christmas Story hasn't made this list yet?
Guess not. A Christmas Story 2015? Or is that
no.
an update? No. Oh, that's no. That's different. Where's Christmas Story?
1983. I will see that this is probably the most streamed / most aired Christmas movie out right now, other than like Home Alone. So Christmas Story can go there. I'm good with S tier for Christmas Story. The kid on the lamp.
Look, if it'll get that like back,
Wow.
if it'll calm Squash Man down a little bit.
Where were you gonna rank it? Where were you gonna rank it?
I'd put it at B or A myself, but again, Squash Man is absolutely holding a gun to our head on this one. Again, the Christmas spirit is strong with that one, and wouldn't want to upset the Squash Man any further than we already have.
I'm going with provenance here. I'm going with like popularity, and I do agree. It's the most aired Christmas movie on television. So S tier for A Christmas Story. We expect that like back any moment. The Christmas Carol Muppets edition just went from S tier. So I got the data behind the scenes. Just went from S tier to B tier. So we're closing that relatively shortly, and we're going to finish up. But that, like going from S to B, it's a little volatile there.
Wait, which one are we talking about?
Muppets.
Oh, it went to B? All right.
It went from S to B.
That's fine.
I was getting ready to crown him.
That's fine. I can see the argument there. It's like it's probably, and also there's already a lot in S, and I feel like B is the middle of the road where there should be the most. So it kind of makes sense, all things considered. And with Squash Man holding us hostage to put A Christmas Story in S, there's not as much room up there anymore. And you know what? Maybe the Muppets gotta get more realistic and come down a notch or two. Come down to earth.
Okay, we absolutely are going to get flamed for this one, I think. But a Muppets Christmas Carol at B.
All right.
Based on the poll. I got to put it A. I can't do it.
All right. Well, got to do what you got to do. Sometimes. That was got to go with your heart.
That was a community vote with the host. The host wanted it higher. We added the community vote. All right, Rudolph. We're getting up to the end of this, folks. We got about 3 more that we'll probably do. We got a Rudolph sighting here.
C tier.
You son of a...
You dirty son of a... We're creating animosity that is going to last years right now.
Again, big claymation guy, but okay. I will, since it's the only one that made the list other than apparently a Christmas Halloween movie that shall not be named. I'm gonna put it at A. So A or B for Rudolph. I'll put the vote up there. That'll be the last poll. We'll do it pretty quickly.
B tier at highest. B tier at highest.
Wow.
Come on.
He's pushing my buttons, folks.
I get the provenance. I get it's a classic. But are you sitting down this Christmas to watch yourself some Rudolph with your girlfriend, Q?
I just told you. I just told you these are my movies. These are claymation ones are mine. So hell yes. We're getting some hot cocoa.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I'm just sitting up here lying on Rate My Bags.
Yo, put it in the chat. Do you think Nifty Q is going to sit down with his girlfriend and some hot cocoa this Christmas holiday and watch Rudolph? Let me know what you think in the chat. I think he's capping. I think he's not doing anything of the sort. I think this man is trying to gaslight us into making his childhood more valid. He's trying to validate his childhood through gaming our algorithm here. Let him know in the chat what you think.
My whole childhood is being eviscerated right now. We're not going to let this man get away with it. I watch the claymation movies more than the live action or the ones that we're used to. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm saying Rudolph at A, but I will abide by the poll, which is added with Gifthead's apparently C rating. So I gave it an S. Wait.
I said B. I said put it at B.
Oh, you said B? Okay, so I'll abide by we'll add the community poll into the algorithm, see where it ends up. But I have to defend Rudolph. Frosty the Snowman. You're telling me you never watched Frosty the Snowman? That's not a classic?
I love it. What do you mean? Of course it's classic, but I think in terms of like how I rate it as like one of the greatest fucking movies of all Christmas. Like, no, I'm not gonna sit down again until I have kids. And then I like want to have safe content and then I'll enjoy it again and relive it. Cool. But like right now, other than appreciating the provenance of my childhood for it, like it doesn't have more value. Like to me, some of the ones at the top,
this guy,
like still have This guy, I think about him all the time. Good point. Yeah, good point.
What's his name? I forgot his name. Cornelius.
You can't even
Yukon
remember his
Cornelius. Yukon Cornelius. And you're gonna
Cornelius. And that's Mel Gibson. You want to make a case for Mel Gibson during Christmas now?
You just brought it all into that. All right, we got votes for S tier. So Rudolph.
Q's coming out as anti-Semitic during this show right now.
Yeah. That's where we're at. We did rate my Christmas. We did rate my bag's Christmas, and we got to the point where we're somehow anti-Semitic.
Dude, the Nazis are coming in at any point.
You know what?
At this point.
GIF, unfortunately, Rudolph, to me, represents all the claymation movies, so I'm putting it at S, and we also got votes for S. We got it was unanimous. It was 100% decision.
How many people voted? 2? You and your mom?
Nope, 4. Hi, Mom. Thanks. Thanks.
I think Marty McFly was front for Q's mom.
Yo,
Marty McFly comes in here just to fucking troll me and make Q look better.
My mom's a pretty funny guy. Prodigy saying, so Q, are you a fan of Chicken Run? Chicken Run didn't make the list, and I feel like wouldn't often be called a Christmas movie, but I think it is.
I gotta dip out of here, man. We gotta put a bow on this package.
All right, Gifted's got to hit the gym 3 times in one day, so we do have to get up out of here, folks. Any last comments here on the list? You of course you're saying Rudolph here is too high, but other than that, Gifted, do you see anything on here?
I think Rudolph is fine wherever you want to put it because this is the least scientific algorithm we've ever had. I apologize to all of the people who care about facts, people who expect the high quality analysis and our algorithms to be pinpoint accurate. Right. I apologize to those folks. We got a little bit subjective here. The inner children started to lead there at the end. Q really let his emotions run the show here today. So other than that, no, I think it's great.
You're getting mad love. You're getting mad love here in the chat, Gifted. Probably saying GIF is the Grinch of Christmas movies. Don R saying GIF is gonna go kick some children. So guys, we're gonna let GIF do whatever Grinchmas stuff that he needs to get to. We appreciate you tuning in today on NFT Live. Of course, another episode. We rate everything, but we rated my bags today and Christmas movies. So we appreciate you being along with us. GIF, you got any last things to say? Let's tell them about the event tonight. Take the Throne.
Take the Throne. Ultimate Gift-a-thon is tonight. It's at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST on Twitter Spaces. It's going to be the funnest, wackiest, wildest holiday party on all of Twitter. That's facts. You can bank on that. And you don't want to miss it. And that's the whole point. So let's drop that link in the chat. The panel of judges that we have is going to be stacked. We got a bunch of people coming in and pitching fun ideas. If you've never been to a Take the Throne, it's a ridiculous, fun game show, kind of like Shark Tank, but Lord of the Rings style. I don't know. It's different. And that's it. It's tonight at 6 p.m. and you don't want to miss it. And there's going to be a ton of giveaways and cool things happening. Not just for the people who participate and pitch their ideas, but for the audience too. And usually some surprises. So see you tonight on Twitter Spaces.
We will be all there. We'll be sitting around a ring just talking about how we're going to get to Mordor apparently. And we will have ourselves a good time. I'm excited for my first appearance.
Should Lord of the Rings be on the list? Did we?
Listen, one of my favorite series of all time, not necessarily sure it's a Christmas movie, but listen, that Christmas list is locked in stone. You will see it on Twitter here relatively shortly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don R. Squashman for giving his awesome takes, for giving back his light.
Squashman got his movie at S tier. You better retweet. That's all I'm saying.
After he had to go a lot for that. He had to go through an adventure to get his movie back
he
there.
worked for it.
Yeah, we appreciate. Hey, we're up here working for your like, Squash Man, so we appreciate it. Marty, as usual, Santino, Prodigy, Hash Rhymes, all y'all. Nox Darkness, you're getting your ape coin right away, sir. I will see you guys tomorrow, as well
Last
as
show of the
tonight,
year.
of course. Yeah. Holy shit. You've been saying it all day, and somehow I forgot. Last show of the year tomorrow. Tune into NFT Live. We see you there. Our vibe, our tribe. Peace.